I was, this is back in 2005, and I had a ministry called Prophesying. I still have the ministry. It's called Prophesying. And I started that back in 1991. And in 93 or 4, I sold it to somebody who then took it and sold it to somebody who then took it and sold it to somebody. And then it came into the hands of someone else. In 2004, I write an article and I send it to this guy who happens to be running my ministry. And I says, hey, here's this article. I just felt like writing, and I haven't done one in a million years. So, hey. And he goes, wow, this is a great article. And you know what, dude? Would you like to have this ministry back? I says, yeah, sure, man. So he gives me Prophesying back. And at the same time, what's happening, I'm also working for Department of Homeland Security, TSA. I was one of the guys we were on jump teams who were going to airport to federalize the airports and stuff. And so for 3 years, I was working Prophesying, building the ministry, doing podcasts, doing all this stuff, and then having to go to work at all. So what I would do is get up at 2, go to work at 4, get off at 12, come home, do my podcast or do my articles or do whatever, work on the website, spend some time with the wife and kids, and then I had to be in bed no later than 9. And it got to a point, though, where Prophesying was actually earning some decent money. And we were at a point where, hey, either do I quit the TSA, which is making really good money. I was a terminal supervisor there, and had all the bennies and medical and all this other stuff for my family and everything, or do I do Prophesying? And so both Tracy and I are praying like crazy, just asking God what do we do? Because if you want me to run Prophesying, then you need to hit me with a 2x4 and make it clear that I'm supposed to leave TSA or something. I'm just not going to do it on a whim. But one night, I'm working at the exit lane, and in the airports, nobody's allowed to go through the exit lane. That's the big number one law. No one goes through the exit lane. This little baggage handler, 5'4", maybe, blonde haired kid. He comes up and goes, dude, can I just, run through here, go to McDonald's and get something to eat? And I look at his badge and I show me your badge. And so he has a badge that he's allowed all over the airport. And everyone says, yeah, go for it. So I let him go. My supervisor for that checkpoint comes up to me and says, Ray, do you know what you did? You just let someone go through the exit lane. And I go, yeah. I'm doing my paperwork. I'm closing the terminal down, all this other stuff. And dude, you let someone through the exit lane. We now need to go through protocols. And it finally hit me. I was like, oh crap, I let someone through the exit lane. And so instantly I went into protocols. And protocols is, we have protocols that we instantly do. We shut down this, we shut down that. We call, the airport head. We call the police. We call, there's all these things, so that we're going through this checklist and stuff. At that time, I'm telling my supervisor, go through protocols. I'm chasing this kid down. I'm running up and down the terminal trying to find this kid, and he's disappeared into thin air. And he's not at McDonald's. McDonald's people didn't see him. They're shutting down their restaurant and everything. He's gone. Just vanished, thin air. My supervisor shows up and says, Ray, I need to relieve you of duty at this moment. You need to go home, and you need to go home and write a report of everything that's happened tonight. And so I wrote my report and everything, and he had, okay, everybody here, we are now shutting this place down. And they brought in a team from one of the other terminals to help shut it down. Everybody was relieved of duty. Everyone's going home, write the report, don't talk to anybody, write what you saw. And 3 days later, I get a call into the airport. I bring my report in, they look it over, and yeah, that's basically what everybody said. And I'm talking now to the head of Department of Homeland Security. He says, this guy got a phone call at 2 o'clock last night, and he knows your name. And so this is not a good thing. He says, but we've got a situation here. And I was like, okay, what's going on? And he says, we have reviewed every tape, every video, and they got cameras everywhere. And they have cameras on the checkpoint, at the exit lane, everywhere. And he says, we have all these reports of you letting somebody through the exit lane. And yet, this person is not showing up on any of our videos. And we have reviewed hours and hours of video. And we can't find him at all. We see you, we see this TSA agent standing there at the podium and everything. No kid. And he says, everybody says they saw him. We can't see him. We've checked with airport police who should have his fingerprints, a picture, and ID on hand. No, nothing. We've talked to all the airlines. No one knows who he is. No one's hired him. They don't have a baggage handler that even resembles him. We've talked to San Antonio PD, which we all had to go through San Antonio PD also to be cleared. And he says there's no record with San Antonio PD. This person doesn't exist. And yet, you let someone through the exit lane, so we have to fire you. So here's your choice. You can resign with honor and have time and service still, lose your good government record and all this. What's your choice? As well, I guess I'll resign with honor and everything. But the only thing that we can think of is that was an angel, because Tracye and I were praying like crazy. God, what do we do? Because we're not going to lose. I don't want to walk away from this really great job that was paying really well with all the benefits and meds. It had everything, retirement plan, you name it. So it was a cherry job. So God kind of sent an angel to basically help me get fired, or help me make up my mind on quitting the job. And it's interesting, from time and time I'd go through the airport, flying out here or there, and I would talk to some of the terminal managers there, and everybody. I had this one guy, terminal manager, like, dude, have they ever found that kid? And they go, man, to this day, he says, dude, you are like a one of these great stories about how the supervisor got fired for the ghost that walked through the, the terminal or whatever. And he was a Christian. And I go, Ken, you realize what that was? Because I told him what I've been doing. He knew what I was doing and stuff. And he goes, yeah, that was an angel, Ray. And I go, yeah, that's the only thing that we can, is an angel.